This one takes a while to get going.
I think I'm getting the hiccups.
It's a good beat.
Oh, yeah. All right. We're back. Another episode. What we got, Josh?
What are you into right now? Don't everybody?
Yeah, I'll jump in. I'm going to Mexico in 2 days, so pretty excited about it. This is my first time doing it.
All these episodes we do, it's just going to be Arlo talking about Mexico.
Yeah, no.
Did I talk about Mexico last time, though?
Yeah.
I think you've talked about it on everyone.
Well, gosh dang it. Let me
Okay,
find
what do
something.
you
You know what
into?
I'm into right now?
That's fine.
I'm pre-vacation mode. I'm
Yeah,
just
that's
thinking
true.
about it,
Well, go
so
for
it's
it.
hard to...
What are you into with Are you into Mexico or what are you into?
And get into some skivvies? What are we talking
Not
about?
necessarily. Well, so...
Tacos?
No, this is like the first... Well, I shouldn't say first international trip because I've done like cruises before and technically they're international, but this is the first like all-inclusive. Never done that before.
Oh, man.
So, have you done
I've done
all-inclusive?
once or twice, yeah. You eat a lot of chicken tendies.
So I've heard from multiple people that the food is not good.
Yeah, I've had some bad food.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, nothing bad, but like
Interesting.
nothing like that's like been fantastic.
So kind of like a cruise, where a cruise is
I've
like,
never been on a cruise, so I don't know.
Okay.
Probably though. Sounds very similar.
Have you done either of those things, cruise or all-inclusive?
I've been on some like all-inclusive mission trips before.
Nice.
What does that mean?
They feed you
Oh.
and you have to work. The one mission trip
Definitely
I was on,
a trip.
One mission trip I was on, we had to keep the same Ziploc bag for our sandwiches all week.
Sounds like my childhood. Find crumbs from yesterday's sandwich. Mom packs my lunch.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. I love how that derailed the conversation.
Yes,
though.
it did. Well, that's all right. That's all right.
What are we talking about? What are we into?
What are we into?
Yeah, what are we into?
I'm super into Suits right now.
Suits.
The TV show on
Oh.
Netflix.
Oh man, I thought you were talking about jumpsuits.
Nope.
I thought you were talking about like dress-up suits. I was like,
tuxedos.
man,
I'm like Barney Stinson.
Are you into Suits because it's coming up on TikTok all the time, and then you just got back into it? Because
I never
I'm
watched it
watching
before. No, well, I definitely got hit by the algorithm for sure.
I'm seeing the clips all the time.
Yeah, me too now. But Netflix just kept saying you might be interested in Suits, and so I was like, it's like 9 seasons though, and it's like there's like 16 some odd episodes per season. That's a lot of TV.
Was it on network TV?
I think it was on like the USA Network.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
but I'm into it.
That's good.
It's fun. It's
Those shows, when they go that long, I think that's better than when like a Netflix series goes
right.
9 seasons.
Yeah, I watched The Wire too. That's another long one.
See, I'm skittish about jumping into something like that. Like I watched
It's a big commitment.
Lost,
I've never watched that.
and I end it with, I wish I could get my part of my life back because there's like 16 seasons or something. Have you ever seen it?
I've seen bits and pieces of it, but not all of them.
I mean, it's an insane amount of, I don't know how many seasons. I might be exaggerating there, but
Is it
remember-
more than like Grey's Anatomy?
But that's not like a chronological timeline, though.
Yeah,
like
it is.
this has like a beginning and an end. Grey's Anatomy has a beginning and an end.
Well, it
I feel
doesn't
like
have
it's-
it doesn't have an
It's not
end.
over
I
yet,
feel
is
like
it?
it's-
But
No,
it had a beginning.
But I mean, it's kind of scatterbrained. This is like,
Dude, Lost
These
is the
people-
most scatterbrained show in the
yeah,
world.
but they're plane crash on an island, and then
Well, yeah, but the Grey's Anatomy is like, I don't know how we got into this argument, but Grey's Anatomy is just literally like just life in a hospital. Like it's chronological.
oh, okay.
Yeah, Derek's
What's
not
your
coming back
definition
from
of
death.
chronological?
Well, I mean, there's
Didn't
a
Derek die?
there's a storyline.
give it
I mean,
away.
there's a oh yeah, spoiler alert.
Well, he's ruining Lost for me.
I just said there was a plane crash.
I
That's
just
all
love how Arlo's like it's chronological. It's
Well-
literally it doesn't it jump all over the place?
I don't know. I'm trying to forget it. I didn't enjoy it, so that.
So you're
was-
not into that.
No. I'm just saying I am
Okay,
skittish.
so what are you into?
I already said it.
Mexico.
Mexico.
Oh,
damn it.
Mexico. That's right.
Viva la Mexico.
Okay, well, I'm. Were you not done?
I'm done. No, I'm done. Go ahead, Curtis.
Okay, I'm into comedy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yes,
into
you
now.
are.
No, but you don't have any like. I mean, I could also say like what's your YouTube algorithm going to show that you watch comedy? Just because mine's like
Not as much anymore because now that I'm actually on stage, I don't watch as much comedy because I get influenced too much in certain mannerisms and ways I talk. That stuff sneaks in from certain people that I really like to watch. But like I'm into it in the sense that like if I have free time, I'm writing. Now, of course, I'm still into like I love hunting. It's that time of year, so like I'm into that. But I currently don't have anything that's like off the wall, like where it's a TV show or
Yeah.
a chronological TV show or anything like
Because
that.
I also am like
Nice.
chronologically
He
focused.
just threw it back. A
Yeah,
little
he
bit.
did.
Yeah. That's
I
all right.
cut to you too. on
that's
that.
all right.
Can I do a good
appreciate
comedic pause too? And I was like, I'm into. I just let you kind of let him get the chronological piece.
Yeah,
I mean, that's good. I feel like
I liked it. I took it.
So
You teed it up.
here's the question:
Okay.
when you're writing your jokes, or your what do you call it? Jokes, or I don't even understand what you call it. Your skit? I don't know.
When you're writing your little jokes.
When you're writing,
what do you-
when you're writing, is it just like, hey, this was a funny life experience, or how do you actually start that process? That's one.
That's a good question because it's different for everybody. What I've like a lot of the stuff that I do is born from a real life experience, whether it's like my kid saying something or something that happened to me or my wife saying something or something my wife does or some interaction. It's born from that, but then I have to figure out how to actually make that funny for a minute and not just like 10, 15 seconds, right? Like my daughter was laying on my lap one morning and she patted my belly and said, "Baby." And like, that's funny, right? But then that's it. That's like, it's like 6, 7 seconds. So like, how do I build on that? Or how do I tie that in to other life experiences that I've had?
where that's
You
kind of
know,
the
I
punchline
gotcha.
almost at the end.
It's a punchline or it's a setup, one or the other. So it is a lot of fun doing it. It's challenging. I think like right now I probably have maybe a solid 10 minutes of comedy and I'm close to having like 12, 13 minutes. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's hard to get there.
It seems like it would be
Yeah.
like it seems like it'd be a process plus probably some trial and error, right? Like you got to go and like stumble a little bit, or
Oh yeah. Like you gotta, you get on stage and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Thankfully the 10 minutes I have now are pretty solid and I can find the laughs in there.
So do you
but-
feel like this is another hobby you're trying to turn into a career, or or will you keep this as like a pet project side thing?
Interesting enough, that's one of the topics that
I know,
I
I
put
know.
in there. It's
Yeah,
hard to say right now.
That's what we call a transition in the
That's a
biz. In the
transition.
biz.
Sorry,
In the
I
biz.
didn't mean to ruin your transition. I don't think so right now, but
If somebody paid you a bunch to show up somewhere, you'd
well,
do it, right?
it's one of those things where all it takes is one call from somebody to be like, "Hey, so and so said you got a solid 10. You want to come open for me?" And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, this could be. I think where I'm at now is I'm not in a position I was when I started my hat company, where it's like, oh, I just need to buy this equipment and then boom, I'll take off running and it'll be fine, and I'll just start it. This is way different. Like this takes so much time to build, and I have to be patient because it's hard for me to have stage time. It's hard to find.
where you live.
Yeah, it's hard to find stage time here. And so I'm not in a hurry to make it a career, but yeah, one day it might be cool to say, hey, yeah, I'm a full-time comedian, podcaster, comedian, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's interesting just because you and I have talked about the
Sorry, I cut to you right when some lady walked by the window and she was
That
like,
was perfect.
just the taking a hobby and turning it into a business is that's where how my mind works.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know that I love that about my life.
I feel like, Arlo, your mind works like that too. You've just been patient in finding that thing.
For me, it's all about stage of life. Like if I
Yeah.
tried to, I'm very self-aware in the sense of like I can't bite off more than I can chew just with how life is right now. I've got young kids and you know, I'm just trying to find the right balance. But my brain works all the time of like, oh, that'd be a great idea. Like we were talking before the show. My mind is always spinning, and I have to control it,
Yeah.
or else it'll get away from me.
Yeah.
I think we're all like that.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't,
That's what's going to make this ship burn down.
You know, here's what I will say about your comedy career, though. And I'm not saying this just because I'm your friend, but I feel like if you just lean into it a little bit, like, man, you're going to go. I mean, you have a knack for it. You want to do it. Like, yes, you can go and what do they call it whenever you just beef hard? Like, what's the word?
It ain't beef. It's bomb. It's bomb. I know. I didn't know where you were going with that.
Well, I probably, yeah. All right. Well, see, I clearly don't have a big vocabulary, guys, so be nice to me. Anyway, beef.
Man, you know what? I really
Bomb.
beefed
I
up
started
there on
with the
stage tonight. It was, I can't wait to say that in a comedy club.
God, take that. Please put that in your bit.
Hey,
I just beefed real hard.
They're going to be like, you did what?
hey,
That's like Mater on Cars.
you can call me Vader.
He did what in his cup?
Piston.
You know Doc won the Piston Cup? He did what in his cup?
Hey, either way though, I'm serious. I think you'll do great. I saw you. You know, I was there. Were you there? I felt like you were there.
I was unable to be there. Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were.
Well, I appreciate it. I think it definitely. I think if I lean into it, more things will happen. It is incredibly difficult to get to a stage where, like I said, it's so easy to start a video production business. It's so easy to start a custom hat making company. Getting into comedy and saying that like you're a comedian, like I still have trouble even saying like I'm a comedian. Like I think I still put on my social media like wannabe comedian because like there's like this level that you have to get to where other comedians, it's like it's a tight little circle. You know, just because I go up and do 10 minutes on stage and I do really well, you know, like the comedians I opened for at the show recently, you know, they talked to me afterwards and they were like, yeah, man, you did great. But they weren't like, you know, you're our best friend now. You should come on the road with us.
Did you ask them for
know?
feedback, or how does that like? How would that work?
Yeah, I did. I asked for feedback and they gave me really good. They were like, you basically what most comedians have told me is like, keep going. Like you're on to something. You can do it. You just have to keep at it. And that's the tough part is like, you know, finding stage time.
Yeah, I mean, and it seems like reps, so to speak, like on stage time is the thing to get you comfortable, to get your, you know, kind of test market your jokes, right? Or your bit, I guess. Yeah, that's good for you, man.
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I just wonder, you know, back to the hobby thing, is it, do you want to keep it as a hobby, or and it sounds like right now you do. It's something fun to toy around with in the background, something to constantly keep your mind occupied, you know, and
I like where it's at right now, but I still feel like it's, you know, like, okay, this time last year I was just doing open mics in Chicago when I traveled for work. Fast forward to now, I had a show a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I built that show, but I still, like the comedian let me do time on stage and then paid me for it. That's a big deal for me. And then, you know, now I'm hosting another show in Brown County later in October. I made it to the championship round of the comedy contest that I entered. So like, it's like, you just keep doing stuff like that, and then I think I might start thinking differently about it. Because like right now, it's like, yeah, I love it as a hobby, but I'm also like, if I keep trying, maybe it could be a part-time thing now.
Yeah, I just know I struggle with. I'm like going the opposite way of any hobby I have. I no longer want to try to. I don't want to say tarnish it, but
you want to keep it a hobby.
I want to keep it a hobby because, it just kind of.
And I feel that way with like hunting.
Yeah. You don't want to be a professional hunter?
The only thing I can see happen is if like I start filming hunts and then all of a sudden now it's like a thing.
You're just hanging out with Steve Rinella, you know, kind of on the Meat Eater
Yeah,
crew.
it'd be
you know?
great. You know,
It
doing
would
something
be,
like that.
yeah.
It'd be fun. Like it, you know, that's always a possibility one day to like stay in the media world, but then mesh that with another interest. You know,
Sure.
the media and hunting is huge.
For sure. Yeah. And I actually almost would draw a distinction that that's not turning your hobby because you've already got a career in that. So to me, it's just kind of marrying two
Yeah.
things that you like. And yeah.
Yeah. Podcasting and comedy is kind of that example too. It's like the podcast
That's
I started
true.
with Dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's
That's totally
fun,
true.
and it helps in both areas.
Sure.
And this podcast could be the same way.
Yeah. Let's get
So.
springboard it.
Just don't go up on stage and beef it.
Yeah. Well, I think we're beefing this show right now.
Why? Just hit the music. You should just have the cancel button on the music ready to go. When we hear the music, we know it's over.
I think
Just
we need
like
to
that.
I think we need to get a timer.
Yeah. How long was that one?
We're at 16 minutes.